So I've never worked with epoxy before and was really convinced it was going to go horribly wrong. But to my surprise, this is what I ended up with. I love it and I am obsessed. Hey everyone, today's video I will be doing my first ever epoxy project. I've actually looked into traditional epoxy before, but it felt very intimidating with all the chemicals, the mixing, and the fear of messing everything up. So I decided for the first time I wanted to try EcoPoxy. It just felt more approachable and better for you with all the less chemicals. And I wasn't going to let the fact of fear stop me. If I was going to face my fears, I wanted it to feel manageable. So I want to thank EcoPoxy for sending me a complete kit of everything I need to make my first EcoPoxy project. And I figure, why not bring you all along to see how it turns out? So let's get crafting. Now let's see everything that comes in this EcoPoxy kit. I love that they sent me everything in one, so as a first timer, I don't have to try and figure out what I need to make this project. First is the EcoPoxy. It has the A and B that we will mix together later. It has the pigments that we will be mixing in. And it looks like everything we need to stabilize the board, some mixing cups, gloves, stir sticks. Again, this kit has everything I need to make this. And here is hopefully what my design will look like at the end. And finally, the cheese board itself. This kit even comes with a QR code that you can watch a video on how to make your own cheese board so you can follow along step by step. I will make sure to link this kit in the description below so you can go ahead and buy your own if you're interested in trying EcoPoxy. And I will go watch this video and I will be right back. First, we need to protect my table. And when I said this kit comes with everything, it came with everything. It came with plastic to cover my desk. Now before we get mixing the epoxy, I want to prep this board because of course we only want the epoxy on one side. So I'm going to tape this side to make sure it doesn't flow over to the back. It's all prepped as good as I can get it. Now before we get mixing, let's make sure we are protected. I'm going to put my hair up. I want to protect my sweatshirt, so I'm going to put on my apron, pair of gloves, and I will also be opening a window to make sure I get proper airflow while I'm doing this project. Now the fun and scary part begins. I am really nervous about mixing this, but I think it'll be okay. There's no time like the present, so let's get mixing. Before we start mixing the EcoPoxy, I think I should probably set this up. Okay, so mixing the EcoPoxy. We're supposed to do equal parts A to equal parts B. So I brought in my scale. I want to make sure I get it right because this is the most nerve-wracking part. Let's open A. No going back now. That is 25.7. And then I'm going to clear it. So 25.7. All right, it's a little over. I hope that's okay. 25.9. And then we need to combine it and mix it. I'm going to get a new glove because this one is very dirty. It says to stir it for 2 to 3 minutes. And I've read once you have it mixed, you have about 30-ish minutes to play with it before it starts to harden. So hopefully I don't overthink things and I can do it in time. I feel like I made a little less just because I want to make sure that if I am going slow, I can make more and continue the project. I'm seeing a lot of air bubbles in here. I'm not sure if that is good or not, but I do have a heat gun that I will use at the end to make it look like ocean waves, and hopefully that will pop some of these bubbles as well. But that's what we're doing. We're trying something new today and seeing how it works. All right, timer's done. So let's go ahead and divvy this up. Let's start with some dark blue. Yeah, that's super bubbly, so I know I did something wrong there, but that's fine. We're learning. So I'm gonna mix them up as I go instead of doing them all together. I think that's just better for me. Let's see how I like that. Pour. Here is my first pour. I'm gonna go start away from, I'm gonna use my hands, I think. Spread it out more. So make sure to get the sides into the pole. All right, I want to make a little bit more dark blue. Make sure to get inside there. This is a beautiful metallic blue. Some little waves through here, even though I'm gonna have to go over more dark. All right, yes, I have different gloves on. It's not because they didn't send enough. It's just I'm getting over a cold, so I'm constantly taking them off and on. But now I have my white mixed in, and it's time to pour some of the white. Since we want it to be coastal, we'll pour some white throughout. All right, I think that looks good. A little more white in here. All right, next step is to either heat gun or blow dry it to get those little wave effects. I have my heat gun. I'm going to start it on low. I know it still has to dry, but I am obsessed with this, and I see myself doing so many more projects with EcoPoxy. This has to dry at least overnight, so I will be back tomorrow to show you the final project or final product. Now that the board is fully cured, I wanted to share my final thoughts as a first-time epoxy user. It was a lot easier than I expected. I think I built this very intimidating process in my head, and that really wasn't the case. I think the biggest thing is just mixing the part A and part B and like scraping the sides to make sure it all mixes in really well. Once you have that down, everything else is really easy. And it can get messy, so make sure you protect your surface, protect your clothes, your hands. And if you can tell, I accidentally spilled a little epoxy on part of the board I didn't want to. So just be careful and mindful of where you're pouring. I'm really glad my first project was with EcoPoxy. It really gave me the confidence to try more. So if you want to see more epoxy videos as I learn, make sure to like and subscribe so you can follow along with me. Until next time, stay crafty.